Well, good morning, folks. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. Welcome to Unindoctrinate Daily. Got something very interesting for you today. I think that you'll enjoy it. Moving into a little bit of a different area for me, but I think you'll enjoy it. A blast from my past, and certainly something that has come up again. But today is my birthday, and for my birthday, I would really like to have 500 subscribers to my YouTube channel. We've had over 100 since I asked for this yesterday, so we're very, very thankful for that. But please go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like. Go ahead and share these videos. And, send an email to somebody or post on your Facebook or your Twitter, hey, subscribe to this guy's YouTube. He gives some good stuff out. We really want to get to 500 here before before midnight tonight, the 23rd, which is my birthday. Thank you for all the happy birthday wishes I'm getting throughout social media. I really do appreciate it, and I have never been more excited on a birthday before because I really believe that we're taking off like a rocket ship. So enjoy this Unindoctrinate Daily, and then come back later on today as we get back into our teaching. And we're still probably today in the book of Genesis dealing with all the crazy stuff. It looks like they've jumbled the Old Testament just like they jumbled the New Testament, trying to keep us ignorant. But guess what? That's not going to work anymore. But let's get in right now to Unindoctrinate Daily. Okay, folks, here we are, Unindoctrinate Daily. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. And today we're talking about something that I never thought I would talk about, something that I really didn't even think about until I got a little bit deeper into this paranormal alternative media, alternative information type of a group, of a scenario, of a genre. And it reminded me of something that happened in my life, and I spent about a week ago was talking with some folks. So very interesting stuff that we want to talk about. We want to talk about, yes, you've read it right, my skunk ape encounter. I did have a rather dramatic encounter with a skunk ape. It was back in 1980 or 81. I was in high school, and it had to do with my father, and we both were driving, and we saw a skunk ape. We really did. A skunk ape, this is what they allegedly look like. We'll get into that a little bit further, but let me just give you an idea of what I'm talking about. This is, where I live. This is the state of Florida. I live right here in Clearwater, and we were basically, living in the same place then. We lived one town down in a town called Seminole. And my grandmother lived up here in, whoops, wrong way, up here in a place called Lady Lake. A place called Leesburg is really, here's the best, easiest place to see it. And we would drive very often from Clearwater over here to Leesburg, Lady Lake area. And the reason we would do that is because my grandmother lived there. She had a nice place, had a nice pool right on Lake Griffin, so it was a nice fishing area as well. And we would go there, and it wasn't very uncommon for us to go there in the middle of the night, or 10, 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock. My dad would say, hey, let's go to Grandma. So we'd jump in. He had a green Vega at that time. So we'd jump in this Vega. In this particular instance, it was late summer, I guess you'd call it autumn, fall. So it was cool at night. So we grabbed a pizza from Charlie and Millie's Pizza on Seminole Boulevard when it used to be really, really good. Now it's not quite what it was. And we start heading up to Leesburg. And if you notice here, this area, the green swamp wilderness, right? And that really is what it is. It's the green swamp wilderness. And if you see this road right here that goes right through it, and I keep going the wrong way, 471, for some reason that's the road that my father loved to take. So we would get out there, and we would go right through the green swamp wilderness on our way up here to going to Lady Lake, which you can see Wildwood. Up in this is where she was up in this area, the Villages, Lady Lake. So we would take this 471, which cut straight through the green Swamp Wilderness Preserve, which I've come to find out and learn is a rather good place to find Sasquatch or to find Bigfoot. In Florida, we call them a skunk ape, and we call them a skunk ape because they really stink. Well, we're driving along this road somewhere. I can't remember exactly where we are driving along this road, and my dad has to answer the call of nature, if you will. So in his desire and need to answer the call of nature, he pulled over the side of the road, jumped out of the car, turned off the engine, left the lights on, and, ran over to go into the bushes. And as I'm sitting there, I've got this pizza box and this pizza on my lap, and I'm eating pizza, and, it's probably 11 o'clock at night, something like that. And I smell, I'm like, what is that? And my first thought as I'm looking at my dad, I'm like, wow, is he having some troubles over there with his gastrointestinal tract? But then I'm like, what is that? I look up, and at the edge of the car headlight beam, I see a creature standing there, and he didn't look exactly like this guy, but he was this same color, this orangey, kind of dingy gray color. He didn't have these horns that I could see, and didn't have these. I didn't see his wild-looking teeth and his saliva going from tooth to tooth. But I did see him. He was probably over 6, under 8 feet, big thing. And if you see like this one, he doesn't look like real big and burly. He was more of a lanky, tall, lanky, and had this shaggy, reddish, grayish hair, and did have the like the stuff stuck into like twigs and stuff stuck in his hair. And I keep saying his because I really did get the idea that it was a him. And I look up and I see this thing very, very similar to this guy. I see him standing there at the edge of the lights. He's in the light enough for me to see him. And he looked at me, and I could see him kind of smell the air, right? So he's looking at me, and I'm thinking, oh crap, he's coming after this pizza. I really thought that. I thought, oh man, he is coming after this pizza. About that time, I see the skunk ape look over, and then I look over, and there's my dad standing there. My dad looks at me. My dad looks at the skunk ape. My dad looks back at me. I look at the skunk ape. I look at my dad. I look back at the skunk ape. And it seemed like it was 2 or 3 minutes, but it was probably, in those situations, it gets blown out of proportion. You're probably, 30 to 45 seconds, maybe a minute. And then the skunk ape, he was moving from my right to my left, and he looked at us, and I swear I could almost see him like shrug his shoulders and say, the hell with these guys. And he sauntered back, he sauntered across the road, 471, and just disappeared into the bushes. So, and we're in this remote area here, and you can see there's a lot of places where there's just nothing. And this is where we were, and my dad's pulled off somewhere. Look at how dense this is. My dad's pulled off somewhere, and there's, it's nothing but great area if you're a Sasquatch to hide out in. And again, this is called the green swamp because you get over here and you do get swampy, mucky area. So that was my encounter with the Florida skunk ape, and we really did see him. To this day, my dad will still talk about it, and my dad is not into this stuff at all, not even close. So it was very, very interesting, very, very exciting, and I've since learned more about skunk apes. And, it really is something very interesting, and it's something that deserves our attention. What are they? Who are they? Where are they from? I don't know, but I do know this. There's at least one of them in this world between where I'm sitting and Lady Lake, Florida, or at least there used to be. So a cryptid sighting, a Sasquatch sighting by yours truly with my own 2 blue eyes. Again, it's my birthday. Looking for 500 subscribers. Like, share, subscribe, and I put a link in the box below to my book, Confessions of an Exorcist, That was featured on Coast to Coast AM. It has the Sasquatch story in it, plus hearing Hitler's voice, seeing demons in church, all type of exorcism work over 35 years. Very, very interesting. Well, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. We'll be back later today with our regular teaching program. And this has been Unindoctrinate Daily, where we invite you to unwind your mind and get some news that matters, news that can help you unindoctrinate yourself.